What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
The main dish of the evening was a succulent fillet of cow deer veal. As I delicately sliced a piece and placed it in my mouth, it practically melted before I even had a chance to chew. It was delicious. So incredibly delicious. Benimaru and I exchanged high fives after finishing our meals. No words were needed, that gesture said it all. Normally, I would be quite talkative during a meal, but tonight, everyone was silent. Perhaps it was a testament to our immense satisfaction. Only when the white wine yogurt dessert was served did we begin to share our opinions.
What is this delightful creation? As an imperial noble, I thought I had tasted many exquisite dishes, but this is on a whole new level.
I agree. Even as a prisoner of war, I had been eagerly anticipating the food here, and I can confidently say that I have never experienced such bliss in my life. Thank you, Lord Rimuru.
Man, if I get to indulge in dishes like this, maybe being emperor won't be so bad after all.
I've studied culinary arts myself, but I'll never reach this level of expertise. There's no wastage whatsoever, and you can tell they carefully considered every person enjoying this feast.
The imperial attendees certainly relished it. However, the Dwargon delegates weren't sitting there quietly either.
Well, Rimuru, it seems your kitchen staff has once again improved their culinary skills. Lady Shuna, was it? I would love to invite her to our kingdom and have her teach us some of her recipes.
Absolutely. I'm more of a connoisseur of fine drinks rather than food, but I would make an exception for this any day. The portion size was a bit disappointing, but it has made me crave for another round. Everything is so meticulously crafted to make me feel that way.
I'm not entirely convinced, but I do agree with you about wanting to savor more of everything on the menu.
Whoa. It was so delicious that I almost felt like I transcended to the afterlife for a moment.
Well, Lady Jane, at least you finished your plate first, huh?
Oh, enough from you, Henrietta. You ate just as much as I did.
What? It's impolite to point that out, whether it's true or not.
With dwarves, almost any kind of food would suffice as long as the drinks were good, so, I really wanted to impress them with this meal. Thanks to Shuna and her team, I can confidently say that the mission was accomplished. Even with all of this, Xian and Diablo remained unchanged. Diablo served drinks to the guests, ever the loyal butler, while Xian stood tall and motionless as my bodyguard. But I knew the truth. Shuna had informed me that she often sneaked bites from the kitchen, calling it poison testing. Tonight, she even went for seconds, it seems. At least I didn't have to worry about her going hungry. Now, we were all unwinding in the lounge of the meeting hall, engaging in conversations and enjoying some coffee after dinner. Everyone was enthusiastically discussing the meal and sharing snippets of their personal lives. However, Gazel approached me with a look of concern.
Rimuru, there's something that's been weighing on my mind, and I wanted to bring it up.
What's on your mind?
You've done it again, haven't you? You've evolved all your close advisors, especially Benimaru over there.
Oh, yeah.
Great. Was he going to reprimand me? I wished he would give me some advance notice instead of springing these things on me out of nowhere. It wouldn't hurt for him to give me some time to come up with explanations, would it? But to my surprise, Gazel had a big smile on his face.
Oh, don't be nervous. I'm not angry with you. When Jane first told me, I was taken aback, but now I understand that what you did was absolutely necessary.
Yes, of course.
If he wasn't going to scold me, then that's great.
But you'll have a lot of explaining to do,
What do you mean?
Didn't it occur to you? The Western nations, the Western Holy Church, Thalion, and all the other human nations were closely observing this war too. Declaring its end is fine, but you'll also have to clarify what happened during it.
Well, I thought I could just make up some things.
There was no way anyone would believe a sincere explanation. As long as I didn't disclose that my friends had evolved to awakened demon lord level, I don't think anyone would ever find out. I figured that inventing some kind of story wouldn't be a problem, but...
Yes, well, that might work with the Western nations to some extent. Bloomend might have doubts, but the rest are too focused on maintaining peace to care about the specific details. And if anyone does have questions, they probably won't push you too hard, considering that Tempest is essentially an allied nation to them.
Right?
So no problems, then?
Oh, yes there are. You won't fool that girl, for one. She'll demand an official explanation from you. What will you do then?
That girl. Oh, wait, could it be her?
You mean Ellie? Well, I already informed her, so there's no need to worry about that.
Elmesia was concerned about us, so Mjolmile and I discussed the situation with her. They were making contingency plans in case we encountered difficulties, and Thalion had refugees seeking shelter at their borders. The three of us, known as the Three Pranksters, maintained constant communication through a convenient Magitool compact that functioned like a flip phone. It provided encrypted voice chat using electronic and geomagnetic waves, rendering it immune to magical jamming. Each handset was made with rare and highly sought-after materials, making them extremely valuable. I didn't even have enough to distribute to my top officials, which speaks volumes about their cost. Nevertheless, these devices allowed me to communicate directly with Elmesia whenever I pleased. Before the party started, I sent her a quick message just to inform her that we had emerged victorious. She replied, "Okay, that's a relief. I'll stop by soon for a more detailed conversation, alright?" So, no, Gazel didn't need to worry on that front. And yet.
Did you just mention Ellie?
Gazel exclaimed at the top of his lungs, his eyes wide open, as if he couldn't believe what I had just said. It was strange.
What's so surprising about that?
Don't act ignorant. Since when have you become so close to the Heavenly Emperor?
Ah, that. Well, you know, I have a talent for that kind of thing. Regardless of how intimidating the other party may be, I always begin with a conversation. It's crucial to understand what they're trying to convey. During my time overseeing construction sites, I would sometimes engage in discussions with angry neighbors who shouted complaints at me. However, once they calmed down and we talked things through, their problems could often be easily resolved. Of course, not everything always goes perfectly. When it does, you simply need to listen and continue listening. Eventually, the other party warms up to you, seeing you as someone who comprehends their perspective. This approach also buys you time until a solution presents itself. You don't necessarily have to take immediate action, just listen to their grievances and play along. In doing so, they will warm up to you, and the situation can unfold as I've described. Throughout my life, I have always regarded communication, the way I interact with people, as the most crucial aspect. This principle held true when I met Elmesia as well. We unknowingly became friends. Some might attribute it to the numerous drinks we shared, but, well, I've forgotten exactly how it happened. Forgetting inconvenient truths is another key to navigating life, although it's equally important to reflect on regrets and avoid repeating the same mistakes. It's a delicate balance, and I am still working on it to this day.
Well, I can't divulge all the details, but yes, we get along quite well.
There was no need for me to confess that I had gotten drunk and talked excessively around Elmesia, so I evaded the question, but Gazel wasn't convinced.
Listen to me, Rimuru. Just gaining an audience with the Heavenly Emperor of Thalion requires an enormous effort. You'd be lucky if you had to wait only for months for that opportunity. If we in Dwargon were to send a request, we would have to wait at least 6 months. She has such a long lifespan that a month feels like a day to her. But you claim that you can easily get in touch with her?
Indeed, Lord Rimuru. Thalion is also of great importance to the Empire. Imagine having such connections.
Now Calgurio joined the conversation. He explained that the Empire once considered Thalion as its biggest threat, believing that they possessed yet unseen magical weapons. The plan was to attack and invade them last. Gazel nodded in agreement. Many of the Western nations also closely monitored Thalion, as it was a vast nation with the potential to dominate the entire Western economy. And here I was, casually talking to their leader on the phone without an appointment. I wouldn't have known, but I was sure it sounded quite unbelievable. However, it was the truth.
Well, I suppose you can call it luck.
It's just like you, Sir Rimuru.
Yes, exactly. In fact, I'm certain that Thalion is delighted to have such close contact with him.
Diablo and Xian were praising me, but as I saw Gazel sighing to himself, I couldn't help but wish they would quiet down at moments like these. Surprisingly, Minutes agreed with my secretaries.
Yes. If the Heavenly Emperor recognizes the value that Sir Rimuru brings, it would make sense for her to want to stay in touch.
True.
Calgurio chimed in.
And a leader as formidable as her would surely have the intelligence to see that. Our empire believed that Thalion would not deploy their Megascore in this war. But if their Heavenly Emperor anticipated that, perhaps Thalion would have targeted our nation if Tempest had faltered in battle. Maybe we dodged a bullet after all.
It seemed they were more wary of Thalion than I had realized. I never considered them to be such a threatening presence, but now I was glad that I had befriended them. I had an open invitation from Ellie to visit her again, and there was much I wanted to learn from her nation.
I'm sure this information was classified. But now I can't help but wonder how much our Imperial Information Bureau kept from us.
Unfortunately.
A smiling Velgrand remarked to Minutes.
I had no knowledge of this either. Or perhaps I simply forgot about it. It was a long time ago.
Given her mischievous nature, I was certain she didn't forget anything from the past.
Oh, did you have something to say to me?
No, nothing.
It was eerie. It felt like she could read my thoughts. I dreaded the idea of angering someone like her. Nonetheless, I hadn't anticipated that my friendship with Elmesia would elicit such astonishment. It was best not to disclose that Mjolmile was involved as well. There was also the matter of our reg project, and I definitely didn't want to spill the beans about that. I silently made a vow to keep those things to myself as I enjoyed the remainder of the evening. Gazel and his team departed the following morning. Calgurio was preparing to lead our captured Imperial forces back to the Empire, following the agreed-upon route from the summit. The paths they would travel were still under construction, but Adelmon's troops would take care of that for us. Some of the Imperial soldiers expressed a desire to stay in Tempest, but I believed it was best for them to return home first and contribute to stabilizing the Empire. They could then apply for immigration if they wished. The preparations were completed within a week, and the major departure was approaching. We were addressing the remaining issues, devising solutions, and monitoring progress. Things were going smoothly in the Empire as well. Unless Testarossa contacted me to report a change, I intended to take a wait-and-see approach with them. However, I did have some concerns about the Dwarven Kingdom. If a formidable enemy of Seraphim class approached their doorstep, Gazel and his armies would face significant challenges. On the other hand, the urban areas of Dwargon were natural fortresses, further fortified with a multi-layered defense system, making it difficult to breach. If they could establish contact with us before that defense system was compromised, things would work out well. With this in mind, I presented Gazel with one of my cell phones as a gift, instructing him to use it when necessary. Additionally, I assigned Agera, one of our own, to accompany Gazel. Gazel expressed a desire to intensify his martial arts training, and Agera was eager to explore the world a little. He had expressed that he needed some time to sort through his thoughts, and Carrera fully supported giving him the freedom to do as he pleased.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. A big thanks to the AnimeKouhai patrons who made this video possible. Havox, Speed Saber, Curtis Loban, Edgar Fuentes, JV, Dirty Old Hobo, Thomas, Jay, Christ, Juan Ignacio, Joshua Cousins, Jose Hernandez, Vetelny. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.